the organization doesn't matter, but just that Black Lives period does not matter.
Man, I'd love to help. I'd love to help you guys out more. I think you guys should come to LA, BLM LA, and see how they do things down there, man.
Yeah.
We
Me
are
and my
Please
group
do.
were
That's the
actually.
biggest thing, bro.
but we had been talking about we need to be more in Bakersfield too.
I know, but I don't think we're like ready. I don't think, dude.
We
There's
can
no
do
way,
what we
bro.
can do. We should do both.
How?
We showed up today.
Yeah, but
We're
these
doing it.
people don't know, bro. They don't even. I don't think they're. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Oh, thank God. How old is
Erica, she's 20. I mean, most of my group ranges from 18
look,
to
when
21.
you come, let me know and I'll introduce you to Miss Dr. Colors, Miss
Okay.
Abdullah. I'm gonna tell him this is guy who wants to start the BLM chapter in Bakersfield, and put you in touch with them, and then let them and ask. They're gonna tell you to here email me if you need any advice and do it, bro.
Uh huh.
Ask them for their advice, man. They
I
will
mean, because I mean, we do need help. I mean, um,
do it, bro.
you know, like I said,
Please tell me when you come.
you know, even with court documents saying that I'm not able to take my kids to my First Amendment right.
That's you gotta tell her that, or at least take a picture and she gets on the.
Yeah.
Please let me see that. I would like to see that.
Um,
That's infringing on your personal rights, bro.
yeah.
Are you on probation or parole? Or anything?
No, not at all.
Oh, dude, no.
If I could ask, and I definitely think Erica should go. Activism, everything can be taught except for the passion.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was clear on that video. So, question I have to ask again. You don't have to have a response. So, recently we were interviewing Stevante Clark in Sacramento. His brother Stefan Clark was the man who was shot by Sacramento police. There was an attempt at reform called and Dr. Colores of BLM, Black Lives Matter, was part of that. I think the legislation was SB 392.
AB.
AB 392.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was the Stevante Clark reform law. Now, interesting thing was they packaged this reform up. It basically said if you're a police officer, you have to, and you shoot someone and they die, you have to show there was no other option but deadly force, and you have to show that you tried to make a real effort to de-escalate.
Mhm.
And if you cannot prove that you tried a de-escalation and there was literally no other option, then you immediately go to homicide level criminal court. Now that's not convicting him, but it was such a radical reform in the law that legal scholars said there hasn't been that sort of change to policing law in California since the 1800s.
Mhm.
So it was really going in and changing the skeletal structure of the law. Interesting thing, 2018, the California Democratic Party, regardless of what you think, ran out of time to propose the legislation. Oh, too bad. 2019 rolls around. It gets on the calendar. It's 2 days before they are going to vote for it, and they rip all three of those major provisions from the law completely.
That's the Democratic
And then
Party, bro.
every single African American Democrat who's a leader in Sacramento went on television with Governor Newsom and said it was a great day for justice.
That's the
Thoughts,
Democratic Party, bro.
feelings, and do you think that perhaps a law that rewrote the basic protections for police, like we haven't seen in 200 years, might be a good idea as a step in place to moving us in the right direction?
You know, I look at it like the case I just brought up, where there was a guy throwing dynamite at the Bakersfield Police Department, and that they were still able to apprehend him. Did they use what they were supposed to use? They used more than what they were supposed to use without using deadly force.
Yeah,
How come we don't get that same
exactly.
justice? Um, so I believe in anything that's going to reform that, anything that's going to change that, that's going to re-police the police department and how they handle situations. Um, when you sign up to be a cop, you know what you're signing up for.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
we don't need people signing up to be a cop for the purpose of now having authority,
That's all they've signed up to be. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
and that makes a difference.
Sorry, man.
That makes a difference because if you sign up and you're looking for authority, then who knows how far you're willing to go left or right. But if you're going to actually sign up to make a change when it comes to policing, those are the type of police that we need. I won't say all cops are bad because I do know some that are not, but I do know some that are far radical because you have to look at it. If you have a bad chief, a bad chief, but you have good officers, those good officers are going to start doing some things that are bad because they have no choice
Right.
because of
Right.
their leader.
Right. You better do this. Everyone else is
Yeah.
doing it.
So you're gonna have people that
So that
fall
means all cops are
into
bad,
place, but you are gonna have some that actually do speak up. We have had some
and they're not
in
cops
Bakersfield.
anymore.
Yeah. Um, Now those are the cops that we
That
do
should be
need.
cops. Yeah.
So I do believe in changing the way that their training is, because you know when you sign up for the Marines, when you sign up for the Navy, when you sign up for the Airborne, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're getting into. As far as if it's time to go to war, you know you're going to war, and you know the rules of war. Now, do you know everything that you're going to be made to do? Absolutely not, because it depends on the person above you. So if let's say it's your president, like how Trump is, you don't know how far this guy is willing to go.
Right.
So it it it
Man,
it is a spirit of the law.
I just say, man, there are no good cops, bro. There is no a good cop is not a cop anymore, man. And I've read their
Yeah.
books. I've read former police tell you exactly what cop culture is, and there is no good cops, man. They have to do
Uh-huh.
what they're doing, or else they get ostracized.
Yeah.
They get lose their money, their job. So
Well,
it sucks, man. And yeah, man, they know what they're exactly what they're signing up for, man.
yeah.
I mean, I've yeah, no, you're
Do
exactly
you
right on
think
that point.
it might be possible to have some major reform that would make a big step improvement? Is it going to? I'm not going to promise it's going to make everything important, but if police no longer, if every cop has to say, I have to, or I'm going to immediately be in a homicide court, I have to make sure that I tried everything there was else, and if I did kill someone, I better be able to prove that it was overwhelming. Like there was no other. We tried everything, smoke signals, whatever. If we change the law to do that, would that be a big step forward in your opinion?
Um, to me, it kind of all depends on the person narrative that's telling the story. In order to take somebody's narrative away, you have to look at the video. I believe that every cop should have a camera on them,
Yeah.
because the camera is going to allow other people to see exactly what you've seen and how you've seen it, and they will be able to determine if they would have acted like you acted. But
So
if they don't see it and they only hear your narrative, they may take your narrative.
So he brings up a great point. So in reference to your question, if they put that law in there, would that be an effective step? Well, look, right now the law is you got to wear a body cam, but how many of these cops aren't wearing the body cam? So you could put any law you want out there, but the law enforcers, are they going to be following it?
Yeah.
That's the real thing, right
True.
there.
And
True.
see, so it should be the chief that should be held liable for his deputies, because if his
The sheriff,
deputies are not the ones are the ones who are not turning their camera on, or not having one on at all,
Yeah.
then you knew that, or somebody knew that before they even left to even go on patrol.
Yeah. Compton just is not renewing their contract with LASD, LA Sheriff Department.
Huh.
Once it's done, they're done. Compton doesn't want the sheriffs there.
Right. So obviously, you would need to make sure to have the ability to independently audit each police encounter
Yeah.
if it turned deadly, if you're actually going to use AB 392 effectively.
And I think that internal affairs should
Corrupt
not
as fuck.
necessarily be a group. That should be the community.
Yeah. Hey,
IA
good
should
point,
be the
man.
community,
Yeah, that's a
because
good idea.
the community is the one that hurts when situations like this happen. Not an organization, it's the community, because it's the family members,
Do
it's
you
the
do
next
you
door
think
neighbors.
do you think that police should reflect the community in that they should maybe not be from the community, but I mean, they should have similarities to that community, so it's easier for them to identify who's a threat and who's not if they identify with them on other levels.
Um, it kind of all depends because, like out here, I look at the BPD as a gang.
Yeah, they are.
Um, most of them are born and raised out here.
Oh
Um,
shit! I
so
see.
the
Damn.
fact that they're born and raised out here, you know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
kind
For
of
you, it's
already, you know what I
okay. I
mean?
see.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Out here, it's a little
it
bit different than the
yeah,
city.
it kind of all depends. And Bakersfield is big, but it's small at the same time.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I
Yeah, that
mean?
doesn't really
So
play a part over here because over there in Orange County, you got guys living in Yorba Linda patrolling Compton.